Bonjour! It is time for lesson 10. We're starting off pretty easy. We're just going to look at 3 new verbs. Oh no. They're not too bad. They are all irregular, but they kind of share some patterns-ish that will make them a little bit easier to remember. So first up, we've got vouloir. Vouloir. You have seen this verb before. You may not know all of the conjugations for it, but you definitely know oh goodness. Je veux. Je veux. Right? So vouloir means to want. To want. So we've got je veux, tu veux, il, elle veut, nous voulons, vous voulez, ils, elles veulent. I want, you want, he wants, she wants, we want, y'all want, they want. Right? To want. And then you can see here the past participle is irregular, but it uses avoir as the helping verb. And it is voulu. Voulu is the past participle for vouloir. Right, remember you should be pausing me to write things down. Okay, so vouloir in some sentences. So vouloir can be followed either by a noun or an infinitive. So like, do you want this item or do you want to do something, right? So here, veux-tu une glace? Do you want an ice cream? Or voulez-vous déjeuner avec nous? Do you want to get lunch with us? So here, déjeuner is an infinitive. Une glace is a noun, so it can be followed by either. Another little thing to note about vouloir is that it does have another form that you've also seen, je voudrais. Je voudrais is a form of vouloir. It's called the subjunctive. You don't know anything about it. You only know this. It's just a more polite way to say you want something. So instead of I want, it's I would like, right? So it's just more polite. And then, finally, a way to accept someone's invitation, vouloir is used in that expression. So, for instance, if someone asked you, tu veux déjeuner avec moi? Do you want to get lunch with me? You could answer, oui, je veux bien. Je veux bien, which means I would love to. I would love to. Literally, it means I want well, right? But the equivalent is I would love to. It's just a way to affirmatively accept an invitation. Alright, so that's our first verb, vouloir. Next is pouvoir. Pouvoir. Okay? Pouvoir is kind of tricky in English. It means to be able to. That's kind of how we handle the infinitive in English. It's awkward and silly. But to be able to, this one makes more sense when you actually see it in sentences. But let's look at the actual conjugation first. I think you've probably seen this too. Je peux, tu peux, il peut, elle peut, nous pouvons, vous pouvez, ils, elles peuvent. Right? And this follows pretty much the same pattern to vouloir, right? So if you look back up in your notes at vouloir, it's very similar, a very similar sort of pattern. So I can, right? Okay, so to be able to in English, we say in a sentence is either like I can, I have to, well, not have to, I can, I am able to, mostly those. So I can, you can, he can, she can, we can, y'all can, they can. And you can see down here, our helping verb is avoir, right? Which you know because this isn't a Vandertramp, so it has to be avoir. Good. And then pu is the past participle. So I was able to is how we would translate that. I was able to. Or I could. Kind of. Okay. Some examples. This will make a little more sense. So, pouvoir in English can mean several things, like I said. So, first up, est-ce que tu peux faire les courses? Est-ce que tu peux faire les courses? Can you do the food shopping? So here, peut will translate to can. Also, est-ce que je peux entrer? Est-ce que je peux entrer? May I come in? So it's also a sort of like polite way to ask something. May I come in? We could also translate this as can I come in? Both are correct. And then Jacques ne peut pas venir ce soir. Jacques ne peut pas venir ce soir. Jacques is not able to come tonight. Or we could say can't. Jacques can't come tonight. But any of these, can, may, is not able, are all valid translations or interpretations of pouvoir in these sentences. Okay, last verb is devoir. Devoir. Devoir means to have to. To have to. Once again, kind of a weird infinitive in English. It will make more sense in sentences. So it's conjugated like this. Je dois, tu dois, il doit, elle doit, nous devons, vous devez, ils doivent, elles doivent. Okay? So, I have to, or I must. You have to, he has to, she has to, we have to, y'all have to, they have to. And then our past participle is du with a circumflex on the U. Helping verb is avoir. Think for a second, what word do you know that looks like this? There's a noun you know that you've used quite a bit that is spelled this way. Homework, right? So the word les devoirs, homework, it's things you have to do, right? Your have-tos, your homework. All right, now in some sentences. Like pouvoir, devoir also has a number of ways it can be translated into English. So, nous devons étudier ce soir. Nous devons étudier ce soir. We should study tonight. We should study tonight. Okay, so you can see here a conjugated verb, and then it's followed by an infinitive, right? To study, étudier. Devoir is almost always followed by an infinitive, like nearly always. Just go ahead and assume it should have an infinitive after it. So we should study tonight. Vous ne devez pas sortir. Vous ne devez pas sortir. Okay? You must not go out. You must not. So here, devoir, translating as must. Must not go out. Okay? And then, je dois préparer le dîner. Je dois préparer le dîner. Dois. Here is translating to have to, or to have. So I have to fix dinner. I have to fix dinner. You could also say I must fix dinner, or like I should fix dinner. Any of these are appropriate. But once again, you can see all three of these are followed by infinitives. Étudier, sortir, préparer. Devoir almost always is followed by an infinitive. With one exception. If devoir is followed by a noun, it means to owe. So, je dois 20 euros à mon frère. I owe my brother 20 euros. So you can see there's no infinitive after dois, but there is 20 euros. So I owe 20 euros to my brother. That's it. Your practice should be up in the same assignment. It's just practicing conjugating. It's nothing too intense. It's not a graded practice, not even a completion grade. It's just for you to practice conjugating these. And then these also, if you feel like you want more practice, I'll post some next week, but you can also find practice online for all of these if you just Google like pouvoir, devoir, vouloir, practice. You'll find a bunch. And that's it. Email me if you have any questions. And au revoir.